Let's face it, the rules of dating have shifted, and so have the power dynamics. These days, the key to capturing a woman's attention isn't about relentless pursuit or bending over backward to please her. If anything, it's quite the opposite. In fact, the more a man subtly steps back, the more curiosity, intrigue, and interest he can ignite in her mind. The chase, contrary to popular belief, isn't about doing all the work. It's about getting her to invest and feel a growing sense of desire for your attention. Now, before you think this is about playing games or manipulating feelings, remember this: understanding psychology isn't about tricking anyone. It's about learning the dynamics of attraction, what keeps someone engaged, and how our minds work when we feel just the right amount of uncertainty and anticipation. When done respectfully, this approach can lead to healthier, more balanced relationships, where she's not just passively interested, but actively investing her own time and emotions in you. Imagine this: you're not just another guy who's constantly available, always responding immediately, or bending to her every whim. Instead, you're someone who confidently holds his own ground, maintains his personal boundaries, and leaves a little to her imagination. Women are wired to respond to mystery and challenge. When you're able to trigger that natural curiosity, she'll find herself wondering about you, checking her phone to see if you've texted, or even planning ways to spend more time with you. This approach works because, fundamentally, humans want what they can't fully have or understand. When you're not always there, it leaves space for her to feel, think, and even chase. It's about creating a balance between attention and detachment that draws her in without ever having to beg for her interest. In this video, we're diving deep into psychological tips that can make a woman naturally intrigued by you. So intrigued that she's the one thinking about you first, making the effort, and trying to understand what makes you tick. We'll break down 5 essential strategies that show her you're a high-value individual, one she'll be eager to connect with on a deeper level. So, if you're ready to redefine the chase and set the stage for genuine attraction, let's get started. 1. The power of scarcity. Less availability, more value. One of the most effective psychological tips for creating attraction is mastering the concept of scarcity. When something feels rare or exclusive, it becomes desirable. Think about it. We naturally want things that aren't always available. The same principle applies in relationships. By being less available, you're making your presence more valuable. It sounds counterintuitive, but when you give a little less, you often end up receiving more. When you're constantly accessible, there's no mystery, no need for someone to wonder about you. But when you become a bit scarce, curiosity grows. People start to notice when you're not around. In a way, you're giving them a chance to miss you and realize that your presence actually matters to them. Scarcity doesn't mean you disappear entirely or act cold. It's about balance. It's about being present, but not overly so, allowing her to feel that she wants and needs your time. Let's take a practical example. Say you usually text her every morning and every night, and you're available whenever she wants to hang out. She's gotten used to having you around whenever she needs. Instead, try adjusting your approach. Skip the goodnight text once or twice, or let her be the one to ask to meet up. This shift changes the dynamic. When you're not always there, she might start thinking, "Where is he? Why didn't he text me today?" That tiny shift alone can create an impact, making her feel that she's not as sure of you, and that mystery can spark genuine interest. This technique works because it subtly creates a sense of value in your absence. You're positioning yourself as someone who has their own life, their own boundaries and priorities. And when a woman starts to feel that she has to put in a little effort to be around you, it often flips a switch where she becomes more interested and engaged. It shows her that you aren't trying too hard, which is ultimately attractive. In the end, scarcity isn't about playing games. It's about cultivating a healthy level of independence. When she sees that you're not fully reliant on her, it builds respect, curiosity, and ultimately attraction. And by not being constantly available, you're laying a foundation for a dynamic that feels balanced and exciting, leaving her wanting more. 2. The art of subtle flirtation. Giving just enough, but not too much flirting is an art form, and mastering subtlety in it can create powerful attraction. The key here is to give her just enough to spark interest and leave her wanting more. Too much flirting can make you come across as overly eager, but a carefully balanced approach shows confidence, restraint, and that you're not desperate for her attention. Subtle flirting keeps her guessing and, more importantly, keeps you in control of the dynamic. When you flirt subtly, you're dropping hints of interest without fully revealing your feelings. This approach naturally piques her curiosity because she's not quite sure where she stands with you, and that uncertainty can build intrigue. People are naturally attracted to what they don't fully understand. A bit of mystery can leave her analyzing and interpreting your actions, which makes you more engaging in her mind. Imagine a scenario. During a casual conversation, you could offer a quick, genuine compliment, like, "You look great today," and then smoothly transition the conversation without lingering on it. You're acknowledging her attractiveness, but without making it the focal point. Or instead of always engaging with her, sometimes hold back, letting her be the one who initiates the next interaction. A bit of restraint creates a mental challenge for her and keeps her invested in winning your attention. Another great technique is to inject some playful teasing into your conversations. A lighthearted, fun comment, especially if it shows that you're confident enough not to take yourself, or her, too seriously, can create an enjoyable tension. For example, if she says something quirky, respond with, "I'm not sure I believe that, you'll have to prove it." This kind of teasing adds a hint of flirtation without being overly intense, maintaining a sense of mystery and fun. Subtlety in flirting works because it signals confidence and independence. You're showing that you're not trying too hard, which implies you have other priorities and interests. This approach shifts the focus, making her put in effort to understand and get closer to you. Plus, the understated nature of your attention creates a relaxed vibe, where she feels that her interest in you is growing naturally rather than being pushed. In the end, subtle flirtation is about giving her just enough to get her interested, but not so much that you come across as trying too hard. It's a fine balance that signals you're open to her but not dependent on her attention, keeping her intrigued and ultimately making her want to chase you more. 3. Embrace the mystery, the allure of the unknown. When it comes to attraction, mystery is a powerful element. People are naturally drawn to what they can't fully understand, and that's where the allure of mystery becomes one of the most effective tools in creating attraction. Embracing mystery isn't about playing games or manipulation. It's about holding back just enough that you keep her intrigued, leaving her wondering and wanting to know more. When you're an open book from the start, it can be easy for interest to fade. But when there's more beneath the surface, something subtly hidden, it draws her in even further. In today's world, where oversharing is practically the norm, keeping a bit of mystery can be surprisingly attractive. People aren't used to it. They're used to instant answers and quick gratification. But when you can keep her curious, you create an experience that stands out from everything else she's encountered. This doesn't mean you have to be secretive about your life, but it does mean giving just enough to keep her curious without offering everything right away. The appeal of mystery also stems from the fact that it taps into basic human psychology. When she doesn't know everything about you, her mind starts filling in the blanks, and that creates a kind of mental investment. She'll find herself thinking about you when you're not around, replaying past interactions and wondering what your next move will be. This kind of intrigue makes her invested without even realizing it. Mystery adds another layer of confidence to your character too. When you don't feel the need to share every detail, it shows that you're comfortable with who you are and that you're not seeking validation or approval. It's the kind of self-assuredness that many people find magnetic, and it sets you apart from others who might be too eager to impress. Embracing this balance of sharing and holding back lets her discover who you are in a gradual, organic way. Also, being a bit mysterious keeps things fresh. Relationships and attraction can sometimes fall into a routine, but when there's an element of unpredictability and surprise, it keeps the spark alive. She's never fully certain what you're going to do or say next, which adds an exciting edge to your interactions. And when she does learn something new about you, it feels like a genuine discovery, something that holds a bit more meaning than if you'd laid everything out from the start. In the end, mystery creates depth. It turns casual interest into a deeper curiosity and compels her to keep coming back for more. When she feels like she's still discovering new things about you, she'll want to be a part of that journey longer. 4. Value yourself first. The power of self-focus. One of the biggest mistakes men make is putting all their energy, time, and focus into winning over someone else, often at the cost of their own well-being. In reality, the most powerful way to attract and hold someone's attention is by becoming deeply invested in your own goals, growth, and happiness. When you start prioritizing yourself, people around you, especially women, start to notice. It's time to wake up and realize that if you're always placing her needs above your own, you're actually decreasing your own value in her eyes. Here's a hard truth. When you're too available or too willing to please, It can easily be misinterpreted as desperation, and that is far from attractive. Women respect men who have a strong sense of self, men who aren't so easily swayed or distracted from their own lives and ambitions. If you constantly seek her approval and try to keep her interested by bending over backward, it sends a message that your own life isn't fulfilling enough to keep you occupied. Instead, consider this approach. Put your time and energy into your passions, your career, your fitness, your friendships, and whatever else makes you feel alive and grounded. Developing a rich, independent life is one of the most attractive qualities you can have because it shows her that you're self-sufficient and not dependent on anyone's approval. When you have a purpose beyond your relationship or dating life, it communicates that you have your own standards, your own direction, and that you're not looking for someone else to fill a void. Critically self-focused doesn't mean ignoring her or being indifferent. It means having a balanced approach. You can be there for her, support her, and care for her, but without losing sight of your own needs and goals. A self-assured man isn't afraid to say no when necessary or to set boundaries. When she sees that you're not willing to drop everything just to make her happy, she'll respect you more because she'll understand that you're not easily swayed. That sense of inner strength and stability is deeply attractive because it assures her that you're not overly reliant on her for your happiness. By choosing to put yourself first in healthy ways, you're sending a powerful message. You respect yourself enough to be whole without anyone else's validation. This is an essential mindset shift, and it's one that men need to wake up to. Embracing your own value isn't just beneficial for attracting her interest. It's crucial for building a balanced, meaningful relationship with anyone. The sooner you wake up to this reality, the sooner you'll see positive changes not just in your relationships, but in every area of your life. 5. Embrace mystery, the art of keeping her guessing. One of the most effective, often overlooked psychological tips for making her intrigued is to embrace mystery. Maintaining a bit of unpredictability isn't about playing games. It's about creating genuine curiosity that keeps her wondering about who you are and what you're really thinking. Let's face it, too much familiarity can lead to complacency, and people are naturally more interested in what they can't fully understand or anticipate. Imagine this. If she always knows where you stand, what you're going to do next, or how you feel about everything, there's little left for her to explore. Curiosity is the key to intrigue. When you create an aura of mystery around yourself, she'll be drawn in, wanting to know more. This doesn't mean you should withhold every part of yourself or be evasive, but leaving certain things unsaid or unexplained gives her something to wonder about. Humans are drawn to complexity, and when you're not always an open book, you become more interesting. Building this aura can be as simple as not giving every detail away about your day, or not always being the first to text. Let her wonder what you're up to sometimes. If you share every single thought or feeling, there's nothing left for her to discover. But when you reveal things selectively and take your time in opening up, it signals that you value your own depth and that you're not here to lay everything out in one go. Here's another aspect of mystery. It conveys confidence. If you're not rushing to spill everything or to make her comfortable by over-explaining yourself, it suggests that you're secure enough to let things unfold in their own time. It shows you're comfortable with silence and don't feel the need to constantly seek validation. People, especially women, are drawn to that kind of quiet assurance. She'll see you as someone who's self-contained, who has his own thoughts and emotions, and doesn't need anyone else to define his worth. Mystery is not about manipulation or creating walls. It's about setting the stage for a deeper connection by allowing things to develop naturally. When you're in control of what you reveal and how much, you're building a stronger foundation for her interest and curiosity to grow. So embrace the unknown, let her wonder, and watch as her interest in you intensifies. To wrap things up, let's get straight to a hard truth. If she's not intrigued, she's not invested. When you stop giving her everything up front and hold back just a little, it shakes up the game. Women are naturally drawn to men who aren't easily accessible. But here's the catch. This isn't about manipulation. It's about reclaiming your value and letting her see that you're someone worth pursuing, not someone she can predict. So, have you ever tried this approach, or do you think it's too bold? Drop your experiences in the comments. I'll read each one and respond.